All right, hello everybody. My name is, as always, Connor Vagel, and I'm going to be once again bringing you this NIU League of Legends matchup. It's going to be a good one, as they're going to be taking on Ball State and the Cardinal over there in Ball State. It should be like I said, a good matchup. Um, does look like NIU is going to start it off on the blue side, and that means Ball State's going to be on the red side, as that is the process of elimination that we're going down. Um, it is Ball State getting ready here. We're still waiting on just a couple players to join the lobby. They do have a few more minutes to be able to do so. No worries there. We were informed that it was some computer issues, so hopefully they'll be able to get that fixed rather shortly. Hope everybody is staying safe out there with the ice storm going on right now here in the greater Northern Illinois area. It's a bit icy out there. Drove over to the arena. Wasn't roads weren't too terrible, at least here in DeKalb. So thank you to all the essential workers out there who helped get those streets ready to go, so that they're not so problematic today. But we have it's not too bad, the ice storm from what I can tell, but quite a bit of ice on the car when getting ready to go over here. Anyway, that's getting sidetracked. Let's go through the rosters for these two teams. Um, like I said, waiting on a couple of members of Ball State to join up into the lobby, so we'll get you that roster when we can. But today we're gonna have IXI shot up in the top lane. That's gonna be the gold 2 top laner here for NIU. Zanakin is going to be our Diamond 3 jungler here for NIU. Be chillin', as always, will be holding it down in the mid lane. Diamond 2 for him. X Reloaded is going to be the ADC. Platinum 2 on him. And then Buff Pillsbury Boy, the Silver 1 support that has been holding down the bot lane for us all season long. All right, on the side of Ball State, does look like they're getting ready here, and it's going to be Choppa up in the top lane. He's Diamond 3. Remy is going to be, or sorry, they had that a little bit messed up. All right. Um, let's see. Looks like, okay. Actually, the lineup's going to be Remy, I believe. Well, hold on. They're still switching around. We'll get that very shortly for you once they've got everything settled out. But before we get to that roster, let's just preface this by saying that Ball State has been a monster this year. They are the only undefeated team left in the Esports Collegiate Conference. They have taken down Buffalo just like our opponents from Saturday in Miami did. Unfortunate on the outcome, especially the way that those games played out, especially in the second half. So hopefully in this matchup we'll be seeing room for improvement, and hopefully NIU can keep it quite close in the matchups here. So looks like Ball State is very close to ready to have their players in order. I think we should have it here. Looks like they're restructuring one more time, I do believe, and then they'll be ready to go. Another update that we have for you guys. You guys were asking about it last week during the broadcast, but it is back. The Doggers emote as well as the In My Sights emote have both been unlocked at Tier 1 subs. So that means that you guys can use your Twitch Prime subscription and still get those emotes at this point. So we have moved everything down there. So if you want to use the Doggers emote, throw it in the chat. But absolutely, now if you're subscribed to the channel, you'll have the opportunity to use that. It looks like we're just waiting on one more player from the side of Ball State. But running through their lineup, it looks like, and this could be subject to change, we'll get you the exact roles once they're in game. But it looks like it's going to be Silk Flannel up in the top lane. He's Diamond 2. Remy is going to be the jungler. He's Grandmaster. LaMelo is going to be the Diamond 2 mid laner. So a very nice Diamond 2 matchup there in the mid lane. Going to be a fun one to watch. Blaster 3 looks like he's going to be the ADC. He's going to be that Grandmaster AD carry. And then it does look like Gerald 1 is going to be the support. And we'll have to get confirmation on that, but he should be joining shortly, and we'll have that information for you then. Upcoming broadcast that we've got going on. Yep, Gerald is going to be that master level support. So, all right, there we go. So, upcoming broadcast that we've got going on tomorrow on the channel. It's going to be same opponents, same time, different game. We're going to be playing Ball State in Overwatch tomorrow, and that should be a great matchup as NIU has, I believe, just dropped one match so far this season, and Ball State, I don't believe, has dropped any, so it'll be the battle to stay right at the top of the conference here. Ball State, definitely a tough opponent in Overwatch as well. So that'll be a fun one to watch. Be sure to join us on the channel tomorrow, 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time, NIU, Ball State, Overwatch, and that is going to be broadcasted by, as always, it's going to be Alex Frosty Kramer, as well as his broadcast partner, and that is going to be Nicholas Matusik is going to be the color commentator there tomorrow for you. So, always awesome to watch them. Does look like everybody is ready to go here on the side of Ball State as well as on the side of NIU. So, we should be jumping into Champ Select very shortly. We'll have that ready in just a second. So, Doggers is back, absolutely. There it is. Not even using Doggers, though. You got the Vipers there from what it shows on my screen. Yeah, the PogChamp emote. But here we go. Champ Select is underway. So here we go. We've got a Varus band right off the top, and you have to imagine it's where the team's going to go here. It's probably going to be that Rumble band. We've seen it banned every single game that NIU has played so far this season, and we'll have to see if they want to take that away from Beach Hill. And once again, you'd have to imagine they will, and there it is. Rumble taken off the board once again. It's become predictable at this point. You guys, you know what? It's like Zillion for Bjergsen. You just got to take it off the board. You can't let him play it. But it does minimize. You now have only 2 bans in the first phase, really, rather than the 3 in terms of what the meta picks are. So it does change up the draft just a little bit to have to focus on that one. And I'm going to go ahead and ban out the Cassante. It is something that we've seen quite a bit here as well. See it in the chat already. It's starting. The ball is not a state. Chant has started here in the chat. And, you know, that's... It's interesting. We'll have to see what the origin of the name of the school is. But Amumu going to be banned away here by the side of Ball State. They've been doing their research, seeing that Buff Pillsbury Boys been playing that with the as the support when Kaisa has been played here by Extra Loaded. So they're going to go ahead and ban away that flex champ that could potentially go as support. Could be played by Xanakin as the jungler as well. Does limit the options a little bit more. So a nice ban there from the side of Ball State. And so NIU will answer with a Silas ban. Definitely a versatile champion, especially in the competitive play scene where, you know, you can steal those ultimates and have really turn the fight around by having such a variety of different ultimates on the one champion. And Maokai going to be banned away here by the side of Ball State, which really does pinch the jungle pool just a little bit. You have to wonder if they're kind of pushing NIU to pick this Sejuani, potentially having an answer to it, maybe something like a Vi. But we'll have to see where NIU wants to go with this one. Typically, they do like to pick that jungler with the first pick here, but it is going to be the hover of the Caitlyn. That is something a little bit different. We haven't seen Extra Loaded go towards that this season, and he does indeed this time. So definitely a different type of pick, but has the ability to play from range, play back a little bit. Zeri going to be more of that that hyper carry type of ADC, if that is the direction that that Ball State wants to go down. Caitlyn going to be able to be a little bit more of a lane bully. Does have the ability to just sit back and farm with the extended range, but it's going to be the Lucian, so you'd have to imagine this is going to be the Nami picked up here. Yep, there's going to be the heavy matchup. So since the Zeri was not picked up by NIU, it does leave this Lucian Nami as kind of like that tier 1 bot lane, and you know that you're not going to see the Zeri answer into that. So Lucian Nami, a nice job of adapting the draft here by the side of Ball State. NIU going to finish out their bot lane with the Lux, it looks like, and that's typically what you do see paired with the Caitlyn. So two relatively strong bot lanes here for the side of NIU and Ball State. Whereas NIU then goes with the Sejuani, like I had mentioned, it was probably where they wanted to go with, and Ball State kind of pushing them towards it. The Jarvan likely going to be the answer here into it. I was wondering if they had an answer something along the lines of a Jarvan or a Vi, although they go ahead and they mismatch lanes here, and they are going to pick the top lane matchup here. So they pick up the Fiora for their top laner here, and so that does change things up a little bit. It means that now you're going to be able to protect the Fiora pick quite a bit, as IXI Shot won't necessarily have the chance to... They could ban out the potential counters here that IXI Shot would play. We'll have to see where they want to go with it. The Ahri going to be banned away from B Chillin' though, so definitely an interesting choice. If you pick up the Fiora here, I guess if you're assuming that... if you're assuming that the Ahri, or sorry, that the Fiora was going to get banned away here by the side of NIU, and now NIU, since they did hover that Jarvan on the side of Ball State, NIU does ban that one away. But if you're assuming that NIU was going to ban the Fiora, then you pick it up. But at the issue, or with the pickup here, you do kind of assume that they're going to ban away the top lane counters, and so far it hasn't been so. It's actually just two mid lane bans here, so a bit of an odd choice to go with it here, not hide the pick as much. Like I said, must be that Ball State plays the Fiora quite a bit and just assume that the ban would come through. But it is going to be the Twisted Fate as well towards B Chillin', and so NIU will lock down a couple of different jungle bans. The Elise now coming out as well. So the Gragas is going to be the hover here from the side of Ball State. You could imagine that it might be that. It might be something like a Vi that'll come in to kind of play into that Sejuani. Gragas, not necessarily something that's heavily played at this point in time, but it is going to be another one of those AP junglers, and so Gragas is going to get picked up here by the side of Ball State. NIU will go ahead and they'll hover a couple of different things. They start with the Shen, then they go to the Urgot. Definitely a couple of interesting matchups into the Fiora. Kale, definitely another one that we've seen. I saw a Garen there and Aurelia, but it does look like the Kale will likely be the one that they go with. It's definitely a skill matchup. It makes the lane rather tough at the beginning with the Kale. Fiora definitely has the early lane bully, but if you're able to stay alive as the Kale, you can definitely scale into this one, especially because you do just outrange the Fiora. However, if Fiora gets ahead, it is not a fun matchup for Kale, because Fiora can just start using the Q poke and dash around, and really then your range is negated a bit. Corki going to be picked up here by the side of NIU, so it is going to be the mid lane counter pick for the side of Ball State. You have to imagine, unless there's something odd with like a Gragas in the mid lane or Fiora mid lane, you have to imagine that's where they're going to go. The LeBlanc would be something very different. Yeah, I wouldn't imagine that they play LeBlanc, but it is definitely something that has some power in towards the Corki. But the Yasuo is going to be the one that's locked in with the 0 time on the clock. So it will be a Yasuo here with the side of Ball State. It's an interesting lineup. There's not really a whole lot of tankiness, but you do have the Gragas Yasuo combo, so that Wombo combo in the mid lane could potentially spell a lot of danger for NIU and the side of B Chillin'. So they're going to have to be careful about their mid laner here. That is their most advantageous matchup of the team, is the mid lane for NIU. So you'd have to imagine that that's both teams with a little bit of lacking in the tankiness factors, I would say. But you do have with NIU, Sejuani is going to be a little tankier earlier on than the Gragas. Gragas is going to be looking more towards the AP style a little bit early on there. You have to imagine, with the Demonic Embrace being such a standard pick for these magic damage junglers, you're going to see that one as well on Sejuani and Gragas. So definitely going to be interesting. I am also curious to see which build Fiora goes. I haven't, admittedly, it's been about 4 or 5 months since I played Fiora. But last I remember, there were about two different builds you could go. You could go the Stride Breaker, or you could go the Gore Drinker build. Gore Drinker was more standard, but then you had the Stride Breaker build that was a little more of like a getting picks type of build. So I'm curious to see how Fiora wants to play this one out. Will she go instead something a little tankier, maybe a Triforce type of build? There's a lot of different directions you can head with this one. So the overall, these teams definitely have a lot of poke on the side of NIU, whereas on the side of Ball State, they definitely have the team fight potential with the Nami wave, as well as Lucian having the culling, the ultimate there from Yasuo, and the Gragas, the ultimate there as well. So lots of stuff that they could throw on top of them. Scaling comp for the win is what we see from Coach Bradley Bebo. So yeah, definitely going to be a scaling comp on the side of NIU. They definitely have started to figure that out as a bit of their identity. Caitlyn, Corky, Kale, all going to be late scaling champs here. So we'll have to see how they want to play this one out, or not how they want to play it out, but how it will end up being played out as they do go along. All right. Other things, other business to take care of. We say it every time, but we're excited about it, and you can't blame us. So, coming up here on March 22nd and 23rd is going to be Huskies United. Huskies United is a university-wide fundraising campaign. It's going to be $18.95 is the number of minutes, 1,895 minutes of giving. That also coincides with the year that NIU was founded, so it's all very symbolic in that nature. So NIU Esports is going to be doing a bit of a streamathon on the Wednesday, which is 22nd, and the 23rd, the Thursday. We're going to do some cool content with that. Be sure to check it out. I do believe the website is live for a preview now, as of yesterday, I believe. But it's going to be dog.niu.edu/NIU esports, or that dog is standing for Day of Giving. So dog.niu.edu/NIU esports. And pretty soon we're going to have a few testimonials, some interviews with some of the players up, so you'll want to check those out. They're always fun to watch. We'll also have those on the streamathon as well. There we go. We got the Dogger spam. It's back, ladies and gentlemen. You have access to it, so go ahead and spam it in the chat if you'd like. We are excited to have you guys have the opportunity to use it. All right, no more time on the clock. We're going to get into game, and here we go. We're going to wait till the game loads in, and then we will go ahead and get that one for you. Looking across the board, it is going to be the summoner spells are pretty standard, but there are one or two things to pay attention to. So we're going to go ahead and get that up for you. As there you go. Once the black screen goes away, my apologies. We'll have that ready to go. And there it is. So, all right. Oops. There you go. Looking at it, it's going to be lethal tempo and teleport on the Kale. Teleport very standard, lethal tempo very standard. Nothing doing there. You're going to see on the Sejuani, it's going to be aftershock. Going to be teleport and first strike for Corky. Again, very standard. It's going to be heal and fleet footwork for the Caitlyn. Trade doesn't really do a whole lot there for Silk Flannel, mostly because the Vital landed on the wrong side for him. Buff Pillsbury Boy going to take a bit of damage too, as the invade, or at least the deep vision battle did come through. But Buff Pillsbury Boy going to be using the exhaust and the arcane comet here on Lux. On the side of on the side of Ball State, it's going to be Conqueror and Ignite on the Fiora. So definitely a little bit more of an early game type of setup here for the side of Ball State. It is going to be the Gragas running with the that is Dark Harvest. That's the one. And then Lethal Tempo and Ignite for the Yasuo. cleanse and first strike for Lucian, so he definitely wants to use a little bit of range. And then the Nami is going to be taking Summon Airy and heal. Already we see a bit of trickery up in the top lane as Silk Flannel is just going to be sitting here in the bush, potentially waiting out the fight. And yeah, he just does take a little bit of a trade here. And so it is just going to be this early aggression available from the side of Ball State. And you doing a nice job of actually fighting back on Gerald there as he went in. Now, IXI shot actually could potentially be in a bad situation here. Going to have to flash early. And the Vital's just lining up nicely for Silk Flannel, and that's what you got to respect, especially with the Ignite here on the Fiora. Will not have that late game presence to be able to roam around and join team fights necessarily. But the thought process is if they can get Yasuo and Fiora into a 1-3-1 type of push, they'll just have the ability to one-on-one anybody that comes to answer them. Now, you're going to have to be careful and just farm out these waves. Kayle, especially at her most vulnerable point, and Gragas already looking to potentially gank. I don't think is going to be spotted by the vision here, and so NIU going to have to be very careful. This is a potential dive, and Sejuani not going to be there in time to answer it. Now, Gragas is going to be in vision here, so he's going to actually take a turret shot, which means that this likely will have to be called off. The flash is not there. It is going to be first blood, but now the flash does go through. NIU going to be able to trade this one back and potentially get a second one as well, as that is just... Okay, nicely done. Reposting the stun and actually flashing forward. Wow, I thought that was going to be the second kill going over towards the side of NIU, and actually Ball State doing a nice job. Flash and Ignite used by Silk Flannel and able to grab that kill as soon as the teleport was used by NIU. Silk Flannel knew that he had the time to be able to grab that, and so it will be 2-1 and first blood over towards the side of Ball State. And so NIU going to have to be a little careful there. Luckily, they did get at least an assist. Now, this is a roam down towards the bot lane, and that is actually a nice wind wall to be able to block that off. And so it is going to be Yasuo just diving away, but Flash going to be forced out here by 4 extra loaded, as well as the exhaust on the Lux. And NIU having a lot of summoner spells burned early on here, potentially meaning that, that Ball State can just start roaming really early on in this game. Ball State going to continue to place the vision, and so what I was mentioning a little bit earlier, now this is Lucian Nami and the power of that set of champs. Now this is Blaster, actually could be stepping a little far forward. The junglers are both here, so NIU is just going to decide to back away from this one, and that is going to be Blaster taken kind of low, but heal was forced out there. Gerald having to use that a little early. Both junglers deciding to just stick around on the party here, so it is going to be a 3v3 continued as Remy and Zanakin are still just going to try to help out their bot lanes with pushing out this wave, which is getting shoved in by the side of Ball State, and NIU really doesn't want to have any of this farm denied. They've already lost about 15, and now this is going to be the dive forward by Silk Flannel, and very close to being able to kill off IXI shot, and that's what I was mentioning, being a little bit worried about. This is a pickaxe on the side of the Fiora, as well as a 10 CS advantage. On the side of NIU, on this Kayle, you just have the boots and then the longsword, so really not a whole lot of power in that, and because IXI shot hasn't been able to hit 6 quite yet, it does mean that he doesn't have the ranged auto attacks to be able to, you know, step up to the wave and farm. And so Fiora can just potentially threaten a dive here once again. Chillin is going to be here to give some support to his top laner, as well as Zanakin. Now that's going to be both of them are going to be there, but they're going to be spotted out because the Sejuani passive did apply towards IXI shot. Silk Flannel doesn't necessarily notice this, and now this could be potentially a lot of damage on towards Silk Flannel. The slow does come through. Now that's the stun, and that is the riposte, potentially turning it around, but IXI shot's going to be able to grab the kill, and NIU doing a really nice job of baiting in the top laner there from Ball State and being able to turn things around. So that'll be a much needed reprieve for the side of IXI shot. Be able to get a little time just to farm out this top lane, grab some of the wave. Still will be down a decent chunk of the farm, but could potentially be able to grab just a little bit more out of it. Now, Gragas is here, and so this is a little risky. IXI shot needs to be able to back away from this. Gragas does not have flash. The barrel does not land, and so it does mean that that NIU is able to get their top laner out of there. But nicely done. Able to get some of the gold back in the pocket. Still about a 500 gold deficit here up in the top lane for NIU as Ball State decides they want to go in the bot lane here. LaMelo going to be taking a couple turret shots there. Bit of an aggressive play. Now that's actually the trap landing from the Caitlyn. Blaster going to be doing a nice bit of damage back, but NIU getting Gerald quite low, and he'll be forced to back away from this one potentially. Actually does stick around, but now, yeah, it does still stick around. So this is a bit of a risky play from the side of Ball State. Though extra loaded, wow, he is taken very low. Does have the heal available to himself, and level up does mean that he'll get the Triumph proc to be able to heal just a little bit more. And it does look like Zanakin is coming down here, does have the Glacial Prison available to himself. IXI shot. Now this is the problem with being level 5 compared to the 7 of the Fiora. It is just going to be a continued battle of attrition where the Fiora can just force you out of lane again and again. Now does manage to get 6 without dying again. There's going to be the ult landing from Fiora, and Kale not able to use the ult there. A little bit surprising. Probably didn't expect that the Q double E proc would land because the ult was available for a self usage. Probably would have been able to time that one out, but unfortunate from NIU. And so it is going to be the kill going over towards Fiora, and once again, just the continued damage. Now, LaMelo is not in a great spot here. Is going to be stunned up, and potentially a lot of damage coming through. LaMelo actually could potentially trade this one away, but does end up getting the kill, does be chillin'. So nicely done by NIU. Staying even in kills, even as they fall a bit behind in gold. They're about 2,000. Now, Gragas, that's going to be explosive cast over the wall, and that was just a nice prediction. Able to grab that one. Did not have vision on that. Lux not able to land the stun here. Now, Zanakin's not in a great spot. The passive does mean that the slow doesn't necessarily go through with the explosive cast, but we'll have to see. Now, this one will. There's going to be the next slow. The dash, nice flash to be able to get out of that, as was forced by the Nami bubble. And so it will be first Drake going over towards the side of Ball State. They're going to be grabbing this Ocean Drake at about 9 minutes. Now, here's the problem with this Fiora-Kale matchup. Once again, Fiora can just continue to do that. But nicely done trading back, actually. Using the wave really nicely to make sure that that Fiora was not able to walk through there. And so it will be a nice trade back here from IXI shot. The slow goes through, and so does the Q here. Extra loaded, now the vision is taken out, so I don't think NIU is going to look to steal this one. Yeah, they do back away the bot lane here. But there was the opportunity. That was a very slow clear from the side of Ball State on that Dragon. So NIU just going to have to be they're going to be forced out a little bit from that one. And so there's going to be the culling going in here. Lucian doing a whole lot, and the wave does come through, the tidal wave. But NIU doing a nice job of actually backing away from that and not taking a whole lot more losses. Now, there could be the potential for a dive, as there's going to be a turret shot landed on each of the members of Ball State's bot lane. Gragas is going to come down here for a potential dive as well. And so Ball State really wants to make sure this Caitlyn Lux does not get anywhere in this game. Now, the potential for a dive is there. They did spot the Gragas on the ward, but they are not able to back away from this. Not able to clear the wave quick enough as well. And Lucian, or Nami, was able to tank the turret shot nicely. And now Lucian's going to take it, and they're going to trade aggro really nicely. A double kill over towards the side of Blaster 3. He's 2-0-0. Now it's going to be the ultimate coming through from the Kale, and it's not going to be late enough, as the Ignite did just enough damage to be able to grab that kill for the Fiora. And so everything's kind of falling apart here for NIU early on in this one. It is unfortunate, but this is a very, very good team from the side of Ball State. We mentioned it in the pregame. This is a team that is undefeated. They are 7-0. They've taken on the likes of Buffalo. Jeez. Of Buffalo already. They've taken down a few other, really nice teams in the conference. So Xanakin going to be coming down here to threaten on towards Blaster, but I don't think they're going to be able to grab anything. Now, that's going to be the cleanse on the... ooh, that was a nice flash and cleanse. I think that needed to be immediate because the final light did come through from Lux, and had that landed, that would have been the kill coming through with the Caitlyn ultimate there. So the ace in the hole would have been able to do enough, but it is going to be just the flash and ult used, or sorry, flash and cleanse used by Lucian. Now Gerald is in a bit of a tough spot, but NIU really doesn't have anybody here to answer this. This is the package, the passive there for the side of the Corki. NIU finally gets that first turret plate in the bot lane. That's exactly what you were hoping to get with this Caitlyn Lux bot lane, but unfortunately with Lucian Nami, it's just really tough to do so. Package has expired, so it is just going to be a non-use there for the side of NIU. Buff Pillsbury Boy going to be taken pretty low here, and that's the power of the Lucian with that Gale Force and some additional kills on him. Sorry to Dirk as well for him. Now Be Chillin' going to be in a tough spot here, and this is really the problem with Ball State's composition. Or if you're NIU, the problem. If you're Ball State, the nice thing about it, the tidal wave does not land, neither does the bubble, so it is going to be just NIU trying to heal these ones out. But the side of Ball State is such a mobile team and composition that they're able to just dash away from any sort of damage that NIU wants to do. Now this is Flash going to be answered here by Silk Flannel, and so it is just going to be the kill going over towards the side of Silk Flannel once again. 4-1-1 on this Fiora, and LaMelo going to step just far enough forward to not grab a turret shot, but this is a very scary Fiora. It is just the Ravenous Hydra so far, so not even looking at either the Stridebreaker or the Gore Drinker. As we had mentioned, now this is going to be, there's the ultimate combo. That's what we were talking about, the Gragas Cask into the explosive cask into the ultimate there from the Yasuo. It is just such a deadly combo. Now here's going to be the dive coming through. It is a 4-man dive. Final Spark going to be used here by the side of NIU, but I don't think they're going to have enough to clear out this wave. It is going to be just the double kill going over towards Gragas with one body slam, and that's going to be another one with the kill, or sorry, with the turret dropping as well with the Rift Herald. And so it is going to be potentially Be Chillin' dropping down there to, yep, he is going to make sure that it doesn't get another charge, but now here comes the slow from the riposte for Fiora. This is just unfortunate where IXI Shot cannot leave his lane, or cannot even step up to the wave at this point. It's just such a tough matchup to play if you're the side of Fiora, or sorry, Kale, and just fall behind in this one. There's really nothing that you can do in this matchup aside from just sit under turret and farm. And 14 minutes in, this is a 10.5k, sorry, almost an 11,000 gold lead for the side of Ball State. It is massive. The point of being insurmountable is about 500 gold of a lead per minute of the game. And NIU is currently down almost 750 gold per minute of the game. It's just a tough situation to be in, and this is now going to be the Lucian diving forward, using culling, not going to be able to grab anything, but that's just going to be the kill. Extra loaded actually is going to just, nope, he won't be able to get out of that one. Heal does land, but it doesn't mean enough, as it is going to be that same double ult combo from the Gragas and the Yasuo, and now they're just roaming around the map, looking at grabbing whatever they can. LaMelo going to be grabbing another one on towards Anakin, potentially. Nice flash to be able to get out of that. Now NIU is collapsing, but it is going to be Yasuo grabbing one. LaMelo is going to be able to grab that. Kale is going to be taken quite low. LaMelo actually, oh no, he's able to sidestep the final spark, so it is going to be a triple kill going over towards Remy. Now this could be a quadra. It is going to be the quadra kill going over towards Remy. And NIU only has the Caitlyn alive. 16 minutes here, and Ball State is already threatening to... Oh, there's the pentakill. Wow. That is just so much damage coming through with the Night Harvester and the fully stacked Dark Harvest. Or sorry, not Dark Harvest. Dark Seal there for the side of the Gragas. This is a 9-1-4 Gragas. and it is just unfortunate. There's not really a whole lot NIU can do in this game. 18-4 and a 14,000 gold lead. Already an inhibitor taken at 16 minutes. Honestly, if you're NIU, that's probably a a welcome sign to have one of your inhibitors down, unless Fiora decides to keep pushing that, because at that point there's not. Yeah, I mean, Fiora is just so ahead that she can continue to threaten this Nexus, though, which is the problem. But typically, if you're playing solo queue or anything, that's where you want to get to, because then you have the potential to just hold on as the Nexus turrets will just continue to kill off any of these super minions. But especially before 20 minutes is not the worst thing. But yeah, it is just going to be the continued dumping everything into that wind wall, and it's just an unfortunate situation to be in if you're NIU. I see in the chat a mention of that just the amount of turret diving now, that's just going to be the problem with that amount of mobility. Beachillin will be able to grab that one, but it won't matter in the end because there's going to be the culling, so that'll be extra loaded falling as well, so it'll be traded 1-for-1. It'll be 3-0-3 on this Lucian, and unfortunately, as much as his damage is an issue, the biggest problem in this game is the full AP Gragas that you see from the side of Ball State. But Blaster can just dive forward, and with the empowered autos because of Nami, now just is able to take out the entirety of the health bar of the Corki. And now this is going to be a turret dive, potentially. Silk Flannel is going to be in a bit of a rough situation, but Riposte was not used, so NIU not going to be able to threaten. Actually, sorry, it was used. However, the ultimate is not there from the side of Zanakin. It's still on cooldown from that earlier fight, and Ball State is looking like a well-oiled machine. I mean, they are executing on these turret dives immaculately. Blaster 3, that's just ridiculous. That's pretty much one-shotting the entire health bar of the AD carry. Only up 2 levels, but just a ridiculous amount of damage coming out from that Lucian. I mean, this is... Give all the props in the world to Ball State. Like, this is a team that you can see why they were able to take down Buffalo. This is... I think when Buffalo dropped a couple games, there were concerns about, you know, had they lost a step potentially. But I think this is a testament to how strong the conference is in that this, I don't know. Yeah, well, that's just, that's an insane amount of damage. Divine Sunder is going to be the one for Fiora. And, yeah, that is just insane, the amount of damage that she can do with that, the full 3 out of the 4 stacks out of the ultimate. That's just now going to be the ultimate used. Lamello's going to grab the kill. Turret dive is going to drop down. Little bit BM with the continued usage of the of that ping, but Fiora is just going to be able to get out of that one. 23-5 is going to be the kill score. I think there was a chance to be able to kill that Fiora, but just with the Divine Sunder and the constant resets on the queue, it just doesn't matter. That's going to be the heal going to be forced out there from extra loaded. Will just keep himself alive. I mean, like I said earlier, if you're NIU, the one saving grace is that you've got IXI shot on 1.5 items so far. And I mean, at this point, you're just not leaving your base. Unfortunately, there you do leave your base, and that is going to be a bunch of damage coming through. Beachillin not really going to even have enough health to be able to follow this up with the Corki package. But what I was trying to go for there is, with Kale, at least you just have the empowered autos, the AoE autos to be able to scale. Because if you can continue to just sit here and, you know, if Ball State makes many mistakes and decides not to end the game, then that is a... Hold up. I'm interrupting myself, I know, but that was a 60% of Caitlyn's health bar explosive cask. That is just ungodly. I mean, there's no way to play the game if you're NIU. I've alluded to that, but, like, I didn't think it was that, like, oh my god. Jeez Louise, that is just... There's not much more to say than that, ladies and gentlemen. It's just, you walk up, and you get, you know, the side of Ball State drops an ultimate on you. they drop the explosive cast. Let's just say you're down to 40% HP, and as soon as that lands, then guess what? You've got an ultimate you've got the Final Tempest from the Yasuo, and now that's Anakin accidentally being on a ward. Didn't know that was there. Gonna be the dash, but here's the resets on the Q from Fiora. Just gonna be able to chase. Now gonna be able to get out of that one. So NIU not gonna be losing a whole lot of sleep out of that one, but it is going to be 6 seconds until the third Drake is going to spawn. It is not. This is a spectator bug that's been existing in 13.3. It is not a mountain, again, obviously, since that was the soul. Beach Hill is going to be taken down to 20 HP. One auto attack will do it, and there it is. And 25-5, a 20,000 gold lead, and wow, there's Baron going to be picked up by the side of Ball State. Flash going to be used to get out of the that's some fast fingers from Ball State. Jeez Louise. That's going to be also now Lucian's going to be able to trade this one back. NIU ace in the hole. Not going to get the kill. And it's Silk Flannel going to be taking the kill on the other side here. That's going to be the ultimate used by the Kale, and it's not going to be enough. That's going to be a double kill over towards the side of Fiora. Silk Flannel. Not really a whole lot that NIU can do. They have Buff Pillsbury Boy left, and that's it. It is 28-5. It's a 21,000 gold lead, and now this is just... Oh, come on. Let's just end the game. Like, please. They do the damage. It's... And here they go. There's another Nexus dive, or another Fountain dive. I'm just going to let this play out. We're not going to say a whole lot through this. It's unnecessary. Just end the game if you're Ball State here. Like, what's the point? Yep. All right. Well, on to game 2. That's all you can say about that. There's not much to say, especially after the way that ended. I mean, if the spam question mark pings weren't enough, that's all you need to say. So, we'll be back in game number 2 in just a second. You know, it has to be it'll be a quick turnaround. NIU's got you know, all the props to them. Ball State's a very good team, and just like Miami on Saturday, very good team, and that's about all you can say on that. So. All right, NIU has elected to go back to the blue side here, so it looks like we're pretty much ready to go for game number two. And looking at some out-of-town scores here in the eSports Collegiate Conference, Kent State's on a bye this week. Central Michigan is playing Northern Kentucky. That game's going on right now. They have not finished up game one. Eastern Michigan and Western Michigan, they're playing, so that's a battle of the in-state rivals. Buffalo is taking on Northeastern. They have taken game one off of Northeastern. Looks like it was actually a pretty convincing victory from Ball State, or sorry, Buffalo. So good for them. And Miami is up 1-0 on Ohio. Toledo and Akron also playing, have not finished game one. So that's where we're at so far. Just waiting on the teams to be ready for game number two. And yeah, it's we've taken a minute. Hopefully, game number two is is just a bit better than game number one for NIU. Unfortunate that just the draft that Ball State was able to pick up meant that they could snowball from minute one, and they're a team that's very coordinated. They've got their tower dives ready to go, and so they were able to massively use that. They had a comp that was a very dive heavy comp, and they used it pretty much to perfection. Including the diving of the Nexus, and so, of the Fountain. So, always an interesting one. We'll have to see where these teams elect to go moving forward. If the game two drafts will be anything different than what we saw in game number one. And so that's where we're gonna have to see in just shortly here. We're waiting for the teams to be ready. But they are all into lobby. In terms of if there's any adjustments to the rosters, there are not. So no need to worry about that one at this point in the game. We'll just we'll have to see. Ah, Ball State has a bathroom break, so we're just gonna wait on that for now. So. Just giving some time. Let's, we're just waiting on game number two, and then we'll be ready to go here in just a second. Sorry, guys. Just checking up on the production there from the side of Ball State. You know, we're in between games, so might as well just check up, see what's going on. They do a great job on the production. Give them props on that too. They do have a nice program over there as well. Uh, One of the we like to think that we're both doing good things in the Esports Collegiate Conference. So always great to see Esports Collegiate teams go strong. But looking at it now, still waiting on the bathroom break there for the side of Ball State. So we should be seeing NIU and Ball State back in just a minute. They were mentioning that Silk Flannel, the Fiora, is a bit of comfort for him. So we'll have to see if NIU elects to take him off of that. But it does seem like that's kind of the style of champion he likes to play, is that type of bruiser esque type top laner. And looking at it now, it does look like both teams are ready, so we'll be into Champ Select very shortly for game number 2. Definitely some interesting BM in game number 1. Hopefully we don't see that again for game 2, as there we go. All right. We're in the Champ Select for game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a little bit, but here it is. It's the Varus banned away by the side of NIU. Will Ball State go back towards this? Will they go back towards the... Ooh, we don't see the Rumble first ban. It's going to be Maokai. So, again, the jungle matchup going to be changed up a little bit here. Or going to be, not changed up from the game 1, but going to be something we don't normally see. We've seen a lot of Maokai this season. We'll have to see where they want to go with it in game number 2, as the Maokai has been taken off the board. So maybe we'll see that Sejuani once again for the side of NIU. NIU now going to go ahead. We'll see if they ban away the Fiora. There it is. It's taken off the board. And rightfully so. I think that just it limits what NIU can play in the top lane matchup, and because the comfort was taken away by the side of NIU, Rumble will be taken away from Beach Hill. And so, again, we won't see it this week. Maybe at some point we'll see that Rumble. Maybe at some point. We want to see it just to see what all the hype is about. But not going to see it this week. We'll have to see, is it the Lucian, is it the Nami, is it the Caitlyn actually banned away by the side of NIU. They don't want themselves going towards it this time. I'm kind of surprised about that. We'll have to see. The Mumu now taken away. Does NIU go towards the Gragas here? The Gragas seem to be a massive issue here for the side of from the side of Ball State. NIU gonna go ahead and try to first pick the support. They think the Nami's the one that's advantageous in the matchup, so they're gonna go ahead and grab that. At least force Ball State to split up the Lucian Nami if they want to go that direction. We'll see what they do. Maybe something like a Zeri Nami for the side of NIU if you don't go with the if you don't get the Lucian. Nautilus going to be the pick here from the side of Ball State. So it's something that's very heavy in the engage. They still want to dive. They still want to go in. Jarvan, another one that's going to be very much going forward, going in. Elise going to be hovered here, and they will lock in that jungler to at least make sure that that makes it through. We did see a little bit of, in looking at the roster, that Elise is something that the side of Ball State is very comfortable with playing in that in the jungle. It is very much that dive-heavy type of pick once again, so... we were hoping that maybe we'd see something a little different from Ball State. Not going to be the case right here. Sejuani going to be the lock-in for NIU. And you have to imagine that this is going to be the Lucian for extra loaded here. If they don't pick it up here, it does get banned away. Though Xayah, something with a bit of disengage, it makes a lot of sense, and that is indeed the direction that they're going to go for, a little bit more of an anti-dive type of composition. If the side of Ball State is going towards this type of dive, then you pick something that can disengage and can stay invulnerable for a little bit of time. But it is going to be the Draven for the side of Ball State, so not only do they want to go in, they want to cash in, and they're going to have that Draven passive available to them at different times. It's going to be the Ahri picked up here, or sorry, banned away here by the side of Ball State, so we won't see Beach Hill going towards that. Once again, it could be something like a Corki once again for the side of NIU and their mid laner. You have to imagine that they're going to play something with a little more early game priority, especially because of the fact that they were taken so aback by the early game there in game number 1. It's going to be Cassante banned away by the side of NIU now. Again, it makes a lot of sense with the types of champs that we've seen. The Silk up in the top lane play here, Silk Flannel up in the top lane play for the side of Ball State, and now that's interesting because the type of champion makes sense, but Alessandra banned away from the side of Ball State. NIU will answer with the silence ban, so they'll just pinch that that mid lane once again. Pantheon going to be a little different. That could be a flex towards the mid lane. You'd have to imagine it's probably a top lane pick though. But NIU will have to see if that's the direction that they expect this to go or how they pick around that one. They are going to go ahead and hover the Aatrox. We mentioned it I saw it in the chat there that it wasn't an Aatrox look, and we've seen IXI Shot play the Aatrox a little bit here, and he will lock that in. So it is something that's a little more comfortable and does have a little bit more of that priority. Not quite as sack the early game type of champion as the Kale is, but we'll have to see where they want to go with this one, as this is going to be the pick for Beach Hill in here. The final pick will be left for him, and it's going to be the Anivia hovered, and it will be picked up. So not super mobile, but we are going to see the bird come out once again, and that is a hover of a Kiana, which is, again, heavy dive composition looks. Again, Talon now. Twisted Fate does secure a lot of that dive type of comp, especially Twisted Fate Elise. Fizz gives them a little bit more priority into the magic damage, same with Twisted Fate, and that is going to be the look they go for, is that Twisted Fate, the ability to use the Destiny over towards a separate lane. A lot of, couple of cross map type of ultimates here for the side of Ball State. They do have the Destiny from the Twisted Fate. They have the Pantheon ultimate to be able to dive there. I was going to say that's not going to be a Pantheon support with a Nautilus top lane. You have to imagine they were going to switch those, and they do indeed go for that one. But NIU likely going to have to take a couple teleports. This gives the side of Ball State the option to go for those ignites once again. So we'll have to see if that's the direction they go with it. I like the enthusiasm. I like it. We've got It's Not Over Yet. Dingle Boop is in chat saying it's not over yet. Never give up. And I agree. It could be a reverse sweep, but that was a pretty tough game, number one. You have to admit, from the side of Ball State. So we'll have to see how NIU is able to respond on this one. They have a draft that I think I like a little bit better, especially with Ball State's draft being a little bit different this time. They were able to take a little bit of a stronger draft for themselves, but we'll have to see how they want to play it out, because really there's a lot of engage there from the side of Ball State. NIU needs to disengage quite a bit here to be able to get through that early game aggression that we saw from game number one. And if the draft's any indication, the foot is not off the gas at all by the side of Ball State, as this Nautilus will have the dredge line to be able to dive on forward in. Draven's going to follow it up with some spinning blades. We're going to see the Twisted Fate Destiny across the map. Elise can not only go in, but then can also use her can also jump up and out with the ultimate, I believe it is. That's the form change. But, when she dives up into the air, I forget which one it is, but it's there. And then Pantheon has his massive jump, his ultimate as well. So he can really dive across the map as well. So we'll have to see how NIU wants to play this one, how they're able to disengage. I think they have the tools with Sejuani, with Aatrox able to, if he can land some of these sweet spots, that's actually a really nice opportunity to disengage sometimes here, or engage, depending on how NIU wants to play it. Nami with the bubbles has the same opportunity to both, engage or disengage, depending on how you want to play it. Zaya has, more disengaged to the kit, but has the ability to use it aggressively. Typically, you'll see it used more passively and trying to get, or defensively, with the ultimate there for the Featherstorm for the Zaya. So we'll have to see how these teams end up playing out game number 2. It's definitely going to be an interesting one, but we'll have to see. We got about 52 seconds. Throw as many doggers in the chat as you can. I just want to see the spam of the doggers. We got to get that. Got to get the spam for the Doggers emote. It definitely, it'll give the energy that NIU needs. So it, you got to have what is more energizing? Is it just a bird sitting there, a cardinal, if you will, sitting there, or is it a husky dog? A husky dog potentially doing just like a heckin' wow face. I mean, that's we got the power of the husky on our side here, ladies and gentlemen, and especially uh, that new husky dog. We got the new mission 3. He's been on campus a few weeks. He is adorable, and so you got the power of the dog on your side, and so. And I swear that was not meant to be a pun based on the movie of The Power of the Dog. That's not what it is. But let's see what ends up happening here with this game number 2. I agree. I'm hopeful that we're not going to have to worry about any sort of BM here. Looking across, once again, this time we do see the teleport coming through from the. This time we do see teleport comes through from the mid laner of Ball State. It is going to be actually matched Ignites up in the top lane. Oh no, this could be an aggressive play down towards the bot lane. They are going to look to potentially invade here. They're pinging that one, and NIU does not necessarily have the stack to be able to deal with it if they do. Although they do actually now have 3 towards the bot side, so they'll have to be careful about this. Ball State is going to elect to go in aggressively here. Not going to find anything here, but they are actually going to try to wrap around. So this is where it could get a little risky. NIU does have a ward, though, and the sweeper should time out by the time that they get there. So, yeah, NIU will see this coming. They'll be able to back out of this, and they do indeed. So nicely played, actually placing the vision to make sure that that the invade doesn't land anything. Really, really nicely done. And NIU going to be able to get out of this one. Now, that's going to be the Anivia actually going to get stunned up, and Ball State just fishing for some early plays here. Going to take a decent chunk of damage on towards Be Chillin', but it won't end up being enough to land a kill. And actually a nice chunk traded back on towards Gerald, so now we'll be able to start it off. It is going to be the Chemtech Drake to start us off here, but it's going to be the Ignites in the top lane, teleports in the mid lane, cleanse on both ADCs. The only difference in summoner spells is that we see the Ignite for the Nautilus rather than the Exhaust like we see on the Nami here. Now, a nice chunk of damage. This is going to be the Engage coming through already. Nautilus going to force the Flash and Exhaust here, but it is Ignite and Cleanse used by the side of Ball State. So summoner spell-wise, you actually take that win if you're NIU. That is a little bit of an aggressive play from... Oh, that dredge line did land. I thought it missed, but NIU could be able to trade it back nicely. So, yeah, Mission loves a heckin' reverse sweep boop. I love it. I think that's what we need right here. But now we're going to see as this is just going to be the Engage the Flash, actually, from Extra Loaded to be able to get out of that one. Heal comes through, but it is going to be the trade back, and now it's going to be the kill going over towards the side of the Draven, and unfortunate. Now Ignites are going to land, and that's going to be the Flash from Silk Flannel, and if you guys thought the game 1 was aggressive, I have news for you. We've got 3 minutes in, and we've already got 2 kills over to the side of Ball State, and this is not ideal if you're the side of the Huskies. So we'll see how this game continues to play out. Looking at it too, maybe. Well, no, I was going to say we might be able to get the time to actually go through these rosters, but okay, now we do. No, we might have a fight in towards the mid lane here, as Elise is looking to invade aggressively on towards the Sejuani. Elise actually going to roam towards the bot lane, and NIU's bot lane's got to be careful here, as that Elise did roam pretty quickly. I think they think they're safe because of the because Nautilus wasn't there quite yet. Now it does step over a ward, but Elise is going to be here, so we'll have to see as we go to this one. And it is the Engage, so I'm not sure why the camera didn't change over. Now that's going to be the dive. And yeah, Xayah using the Cleanse. Not able to get out of the stun, the double stun, and so it will be the kill going over towards the side of Ball State. And Yeah, so the early aggression has just continued from Ball State. Now here comes the Pantheon on towards the top side. NIU may be able to grab something. There's the flash. LaMelo will fall. NIU will grab a kill. It's not going to be a perfect game, at least. That's one angle where we got something going. NIU's cooking something up with the mid and jungle duo here, so we'll have to see how they want to continue to play this. And IXI actually able to heal up a little bit here, and does not take a second kill. Now Pantheon is going to take a nice engage, and that's actually flash forward. Oh, that's going to be the chain, the infernal chain. Kill goes over to IXI. He's got the solo kill. And ladies and gentlemen, NIU, they must be chefs because they're cooking something up here. And now this is going to be the potential for the bot lane dive. NIU's bot lane is not in a great spot. That's the triple root. And that's going to be now, that is the aggro traded though. And NIU will not trade anything back. So that is a nicely executed dive once again by the bot lane and jungle of Ball State. So 5-2. But you know what? We're going to keep things positive where we can, and NIU has gotten 2 kills, and the bot lane, this is unfortunate because Draven's just already starting to hyperscale, but look at that. They've got 2 kills up towards the top side, and one of them being a solo kill. Absolutely an amazing time to be there. I think we finally have time to go for these lineups. So, going for the runes. Never mind, we don't have that yet. LaMelo could potentially be found out here. He's going to get stunned up. The yellow card isn't going to land. This is going to be a 2-for-2. Flash over the wall comes through from Elise. Not going to be a whole lot there. Flash actually now used aggressively from Elise. It is going to be traded one back. Sejuani not going to be able to trade that actually as the flash forward comes through. The Destiny does mean that the kill doesn't land. NIU able to grab one though as Elise stepped a little too far forward and Destiny used but not able to be used like with the teleport there. So NIU will get one back and IXI shot going to be doing a nice chunk of damage on towards the Pantheon here. And Pantheon just tanking a bunch of minion damage, so we'll have to see how that one continues to go for. Backwards overlay. Thank you. Let me get that changed back for you guys. There you go. That should fix it for itself. Thank you very much. And there you go. We got the overlay back. But yeah, NIU gonna continue to play aggressively. This is the ultimate available for Silk Flannel. So IXI shot now does have his, but there's gonna be the dive once again. And this is just unrelenting. The side of Ball State just continuously going for these dives towards the bot lane and seeing if we can do, seeing what they can get for it. All right. I think we got runes now finally. But looking at it, it's going to be Conqueror on the Aatrox. We'll get through this real quickly. That is the Aftershock on the Sejuani. It's going to be the Electrocute from the Anivia, Lethal Tempo for Zaya, and then Summon Airy for the Nami. On the side of Ball State, it's Conqueror on the Pantheon, Electrocute for Elise. That is a Summoner Spellbook for the Twisted Fate. Now this is again another invade from the side of Ball State, and they're just not letting NIU get anything out of this game. NIU not able to collapse, so it will just be the Dragon started up by Remy here for the side of Ball State. Lethal Tempo here for the hold on. That is a 7-minute Essence Reaver for Draven, who has Lethal Tempo. Oh my. All right. Well, Glacial Augment is going to be on the Nautilus, but we're gonna ignore the Draven who has an Essence Reaver because that's scary, and we're gonna look at more brighter, more positive things like the fact that NIU has 3 kills, which is more than they had at this point in game number 1. 8 minutes in, they're down about 3,500 gold. Elise is potentially looking to dive once again on towards Extra Loaded, and so I guess let's give credit to Ball State once again. The dive on towards the Zaya. Remember, Zaya does not have ultimate yet, so, like we mentioned in Champ Select, she'll have the dive stopper with that eventually. Ultimate going to be used by IXI shot. That's going to be the re-engage and the flash forward from the Pantheon. I'm a little surprised that that we went back in there, but it is going to be a nice kill going over towards the Pantheon. But Chemtech Drake going to be picked up here by the side of Ball State. It's going to be the Cloud Drake, and now here's the Destiny and another dive again for the side of Ball State, and the bot lane is yet another dive. You hate to see it, but yeah, it's a tough situation to be in if you're NIU because this is the second match in a row where you've seen that the enemy has picked up on where they have the advantageous matchup and has just decided to go for as many kills as they can. Nicely done to dodge out on that stun here. Elise is going to take a decent chunk of damage, and actually nice flash as well by IXI shot, able to outplay that dive and will not fall in the exchange. Does have to use flash, but it is going to be a really nice play by the NIU top laner here. Unfortunately, though, this is now a 7,000 gold lead in just under 10 minutes. So NIU not really in a spot to be able to take anything, although there's going to be the blue buff was taken by NIU, I think. I didn't get a good look at it. I don't know if they were able to grab it with the smite. Blue buff does not look like it's on Elise, so it's got to be on towards the Sejuani. NIU could potentially look for something here. There's going to be the slow, the stun. It's going to be the double stun. Nope, not quite there because of the flash now going to be used. The wall does not quite cut off the Twisted Fate. NIU now going to be able to grab the stun. They're going to be able to grab it before the yellow card can come out, and the wild cards don't mean enough as NIU now is able to grab a third kill on towards Sejuani, and that is who you want to get on this. Now, that's a nice bubble. Doesn't really end up being a whole lot in the end, but it is a nice one. And so it will be... Actually, that's a pretty BM here from the side of Twisted Fate. If you look at it, he's already grabbed the Morellonomicon, and it has 0 stacks. So I'm kind of surprised about that. Now, that was maybe a misclick, but that is going to be the damage not able to go through as the dive would have been there. But almost was the solo kill over from Zanakin on towards Remy here. Remy going to heal up a little bit with that Scuttle Crab. But NIU was looking to maybe look to counteract the dive here. Nivea is here, but so is going to be Twisted Fate, as that is the Destiny used once again. The cleanse comes through already, and LaMelo taken low. Now that's going to be kills on towards Blaster, and just enough. NIU will grab one back. Zanakin is actually going to maybe fall as well, and that's going to be the damage. Yeah, 300 gold over towards Blaster. I think they were looking to potentially just grab the stun and then roam towards him. Not going to be enough. Potential dive once again here. Now that's going to be the ultimate used by Nivea, and the wall already used, and now a lot of damage. B-Chillin does have the passive, and he's able to grab the kill here, so he's able to trade one back, and NIU has matched, or actually I think beaten their kill total from last game already. They will not be able to hold this turret, I don't believe, but they are going to send the bot lane back down here. And wow, with like 2 auto attacks, they are going to be able to do so. Ultimate now going to be used by Pantheon right in place, and actually nicely done by IXI shot, able to use the Infernal Chain to make sure that didn't end up being anything. He is down about 2 levels, which is tough if you're the Aatrox. Now the dive potentially could come out here as Nautilus can take a lot of turret shots. Teleport is going to come through from NIU. Are they going to be able to grab anything? The chain is going to pull him back, and he's actually able to grab one as that is going to be IXI shot, grabbing the shutdown. And then it's going to be the teleport from the Anivia, just in time, able to grab the kill onto Pantheon and NIU, counteracting these plays and being a little bit aware of what the side of Ball State is looking to do, and they're able to grab the kills. Now, the gold is still heavily in Ball State's favor. You have to point that out, that it is an 8,000 gold lead with now the Rift Herald being summoned in the mid lane, and so this could be all 3 outer turrets falling with plates pretty much on all of them. Top lane would be the one that's not going to be falling. Now that's Cleanse, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be the kill going over towards Zion. That is a 1,000 gold shutdown on towards the Draven. NIU, you've gotten this gold lead down to about 7,000, and now they're going to potentially look for this dragon. It has been started up by the Elise. Is NIU going to be able to get there in time to be able to steal it? They could potentially do so. Zanakin going to force the side of Ball State to back away from this, and now the kill could potentially come on towards Remy. He's going to be taken low, and he's going to be stunned up, and that's going to be a kill going over towards Extra Loaded. NIU, you've got 2 more kills. You've got the dragon, and they're punishing the over-aggressiveness here from Ball State. Absolutely. Draven is in a really nice spot. You have to point that out, that he is still massively ahead. Like, this is a 8,000 gold Draven compared to the 4,500 gold from Xayah. But with those shutdowns, that gives the Noon Quiver. Xayah should be able to grab potentially the... she has 2,000 gold in pocket, so after they clear out this wave, they really don't want to lose the mid lane here. But potentially, NIU could go ahead and... NIU could go ahead and potentially grab the Mythic on towards the top laner, and now that's a really nice wall from the Anivia, forcing the flash out from Pantheon here. This could be the Hex Flash over the wall. It is going to be the stun. Now there's the ultimate. That's exactly what we were talking about. The disengage from the Xayah, and it's going to be turned around. Gerald is going to fall. NIU able to grab one off of this one, although that's going to be a lot of aggression. Elise is going to actually be able to grab the kill as NIU is over-aggressive towards that one. The flash does come through. That's going to be the gold card, and it is going to be just enough damage from LaMelo. So NIU just barely getting outplayed on that one, but... if there's a positive out of this, it is that this game is not over, and you've got a lot of damage. Wow, Remy is taken very low. Anivia not gonna be denied that one, and that is already a 4-1-3 Anivia here from Beach Hill, and unfortunate that has reset, but it is gonna be wow, that fully reset. That was interesting. I'm not used to this year's jungle leashing quite yet. So that is going to be the blue buff donated over towards the mid laner of NIU. Buffalo is going to be starting up this Rift Herald, although NIU does know that they're spotted on vision here. This could be a potential collapse towards the top lane. NIU going to have to be careful about this one. This is going to be the Hex Flash used over the... Nope, not going to be used over the wall. It is just repositioned, and now the wall going to be placed by Anivia, so nicely done. And NIU just going to continue to scale. Thank you. In the chat, they're getting to play the game. That is the biggest thing about this one. Like, even if they fall in this one, NIU got to play the game this time, and last game they did not. The bot lane, they may argue that they didn't get to play, and that would be a fair argument, at least for the first 15 minutes of the game. But Xayah's getting the chance to actually play some here, so we'll have to see how NIU continues to scale up in this one, and if they're continuing to play aggressively. But I'm liking what I'm seeing from this game a lot more than what we saw in game number 1 from NIU. It's they're utilizing the strat pretty well. Now Destiny going to be used, and that's going to be the vision. And IXI shot, this is going to be in a tough spot, as that is a level 12 Pantheon as well as the level 11 Twisted Fate, able to grab that. And yeah, it will just be the kill going over towards the side of Ball State, punishing the overstay. But if you're NIU, I think you kind of just have to accept that sometimes you're going to have those overstays, because you just need to be able to push these lanes. Going for it now, it is going to be Nautilus once again going in, and just they are going to steal even more of these jungle camps from the side of NIU. Now, even despite that, looking at it, Elise still has 8 stacks on the jungle item, which now this is Nautilus in a bad spot. He's going to have to Hex Flash over the wall. He is able to channel that just in time, and Xanakin going to be stunned up, but just not really that squishy at this point in the game, and so that's going to need Pantheon. The wall will not land, though the stun, also just barely not going to land. So it will be NIU having to back away from it, but. Looking at it, NIU, they're down about 9,000 gold. It's a tough spot to be in, and that gold lead is going to continue to balloon. But by this point in the last game, they were down about 20,000. So this is an improvement over game number 1 for sure. NIU has opportunities. They have avenues to get back in this game. Now, the Twisted Fate having 10 stacks on the Dark Seal, or actually that is a full Morellonomicon. He did finish that one, and it didn't scale, but now it has, and so... that is tough for NIU, but if there's a saving grace, it is that you've got the mythics on everybody. Draven isn't itemizing towards the mythic quite yet. Now is probably looking towards an Eclipse at this point, because he does have the Infinity Edge as well as the Essence Reaver. But NIU has gotten at least one item on all of their champs, so they're at least in a point in the game that they can continue to play the game and potentially keep their foot on the gas to turn this around. Now, that is an interesting Rift Herald usage. I guess it's just towards the top lane so that NIU doesn't really get the chance to contest it. Now, that is going to be the Glacial Prison not necessarily landing, but it is going to force the flash off of Blaster. And so that is going to be NIU looking to potentially grab this Dragon. They want to set things up. They haven't been able to land the stuns, but now they're able to grab that. That's a nice bit of damage towards Gerald, but IXI shot not in a great place, and he's just going to be blown up, unfortunately. Now, NIU has bitten off a bit more than they can chew. They were taking two different target focuses, and that's going to be the Draven in such a high damage position, and now is able to grab the kills. And Ball State has now gotten a double kill on towards the Draven. That is the clean ace, and that is a triple kill on towards Draven. That'll be the Mountain Drake, and as well, that is Rift Herald just pushing away on the top side. It's going to be 2 to 3 members of Ball State also just doing damage to this bot lane tier 2 turret. NIU is going to lose a whole lot at this point in the game, and that's not ideal, obviously. So we'll have to see where they want to go with it, as that is going to be the side of Ball State just looking for a slow take on this. NIU will at least be able to clear out, and so these waves, so they won't lose either of their or any of their inhibitor turrets at this point. So that's at least one positive you can take from it. But this is a scary place to be if you're NIU. Yeah, look at that gold on the Draven. That is a 13,000 gold Draven, a 10,000 gold Twisted Fate, and yeah, that is about 1,000 gold lead in every roll at least, plus 3,000 in the mid lane, plus 6,000 almost. Yeah, actually over 6,000 in the ADC role. If there's one positive for NIU, it's Prowler's Claw, actually, for the Draven. That was not what I expected. But, yeah, B-Chillin' going to be caught out here. That's the cross-map ultimates just being able to be used, as LaMelo used the Destiny. That is going to be ultimate used by Silk Flannel. And but looking at it across the board, if there's one positive for the side of NIU, it is that Draven can only get one more item. He's got to finish off his boots, and then he can grab one more item, and then he can't scale anymore, at least. So you can, at least you can look forward to that, he'll be super powerful for a long time, and Buff Pillsbury Boy is going to fall as that's a flash over the wall by Silk Flannel. Now it's going to be extra loaded in a bad spot. Flashing, now going to be stunned up by the gold card. Not going to be enough as he's going to cleanse it, but won't be able to get out of that one. LaMelo is going to be able to grab the kill on towards that one. Now it's going to be the stuns on towards the side of NIU, though the Aatrox has done a bit of damage. LaMelo is going to be taken low. It is going to be Remy taking the turret shot. He is going to fall towards the side of IXI shot, but it's not going to be enough as Silk Flannel is going to be able to grab the kill on towards Xanakin here. And so B-Chillin' going to have to play pretty safe here, although there's going to be the double kill going over towards Pantheon. It won't matter. That's going to be the turret dropping in the bot lane, and at 22 minutes, 29 to 13, they put up a much more valiant effort in game number 2. Actually, Twisted Fate going to be recalling here with extra loaded and Buff Pillsbury Boy spawning. I didn't realize the death timers were that short this time, but that's going to be the teleport coming through flash forward. Now that's going to be a very aggressive play by Gerald, but then I can't follow up the tidal wave because of the teleport here by LaMelo. He is full health again, and Draven, yeah, there's going to be that scariness. He's going to do 2 auto attacks, and he's going to get the almost get the kill here. Ball State will back away. They won't go for the end quite yet, but it's going to be a tough one here. NIU has to make a couple of miracle plays here. Baron more than likely going to be the call here from the side of Ball State. NIU may just elect to go for a miracle steal on this with the Sejuani from Xanakin, but we'll have to see if that's the direction they head down. They are just continuing to try to farm with Xanakin here, so we'll see where they want to go. That's another Dark Seal started up here on the side of Ball State. They've got 25 stacks on the Twisted Fate. That's Destiny actually behind. Gold card going to be used, but that's now Pantheon also here. B-Chillin' in a tough spot. He's going to be completely surrounded, and this is now going to be the second kill going over towards Remy on towards Xanakin. NIU going to be in a 3v5 here, defending their base, and I don't think they're going to be able to hold it. That's going to be gold card. IXI shot going to be stunned up, and now the damage just follows through. That's blink and you miss it, but that was Remy just two-shotting extra loaded, and now the fountain dive comes out from Ball State once again. You have to hope that they just end the game for once. Nope, they're going to look to potentially grab more kills, pad the stats a little bit more with the dive comp here. This time they do actually kill off both of those turrets. NIU just, yeah, come on. Just let's, oh my goodness. There you go. There's an execution. Anakin not going to fall with that one, and so it will be NIU just not dying here. Shut down as well. Be chilling is going to grab that one, but it won't, or Anakin will, but it won't matter. 34-14, a 19,000 gold lead, and Ball State in 24 minutes is going to take the series 2-0. However, NIU played a lot better in game number 2 than they did in game number 1. Composition-wise, I liked it a lot more. Just unfortunate that the outcome was what it was. Yeah, mid-game, definitely not bad. Like I said, this is a tough team to play against in Ball State. They and Miami, definitely tough sides over there. So, yeah, looking at it, that is 21,000 gold on the Twisted Fate, which is only matched by 24,000. No, actually, Pantheon had 21,000 as, or sorry, that's damage. I'm looking at damage, not gold. Sorry. 12,000 gold on the Twisted Fate, 11,000 on Pantheon. That is a 4,000 gold lead in the top lane, 4,000 in the mid lane, 15,000 for Draven. So that is a 8,000 gold lead for Draven, and about a 2,500 gold lead in the support role as well. So just tough for NIU. Not a great place to be. But yeah, absolutely tough night for NIU League of Legends. They'll be back on Saturday. But don't miss tomorrow night. It's going to be Ball State versus League of Legends, or versus, jeez, it's going to be Overwatch versus Ball State. I can talk, I promise you. And that one will be the undefeated Ball State roster against the one-loss NIU roster. So we'll see where they want to go with that one. NIU, I apologize. It is not Saturday that NIU will be back. It'll be 7 o'clock on Friday. So we got 3 nights of games in a row. We got tonight, this League of Legends matchup. We've got Overwatch tomorrow on the channel, same time, 7 o'clock. And then 7 o'clock on Friday, we're going to have NIU versus Northern Kentucky in League of Legends. So another good matchup for you guys. Until then, I've been Connor, Vagel. We will see you guys later on in the week. Until then, have a great rest of your week, and stay safe in that ice storm going out there. So, otherwise, have a good week.